Hello, friends. I'm live right now. I don't know if you remember, like the other night, I was trying to find this video that Umar Johnson published. I'm not sure. It might have been on his Instagram or whatever. I don't know. I couldn't find it. And it was in regards to, it was an answer to the Brother Polite situation. But what was fascinating to me about it was that, hey, Danny, thank you, baby, for coming through. Look at you. Stay here with me. Do you promise to stay here with me, Danny? But what was really interesting about this video was that while he tried to show how his brand of black maleism was deigned to protect black women and black girls, he failed entirely. Danny, you're the best. All right. All right. So, a friend of mine, his name is Craig, he was able to find the video for me, and he was so wonderful and beautiful and brilliant enough to give me a minute mark on it, because everybody that knows me knows that I can't sit through Umar talks because he's crazy. So I'm going to pull it up, and we're going to talk about consent tonight. You know? Danny, I appreciate you here. You don't know how you just made my heart bubble. You don't know. It's hard to like talk to yourself in these things. And I know I'm just getting started. And I know I had like a brat attack meltdown. But, you know, it means everything to me that you're here. Said I can never sit through a minute. Facts, man. It's very difficult to sit through. He's crazy. All right. So we're going to go into this right now. I refuse to call him doctor. I refuse. I don't care if he has a PhD. All right, so let me share this.
You want to help with the college tour? You want to help with the Africa trips? You want to help with Ifatunde University?
I know, Danny. I know you're always here. I know you're always here.
You're a lost soul. 400 years later, you still in love with your oppressor. I don't know what you want me to say. My great ancestor, Frederick Douglass, whom this school is named after. My great ancestor, Frederick Douglass, who this school behind me is named after.
All right, so we're sharing.
Said it's better to raise strong children than to repair broken men.
All right.
Frederick Douglass said it's better to raise strong black boys. You want to help with Team Pan African? You want to help with NIBPA? You want to help with the college tour? You want to help with the Africa trips? You want to help with Ifatunde University?
We're just going to roll with this for a second, Danny.
Well, you a lost soul.
I don't know.
400 years later, you still
I don't listen. I don't even know what he's talking about right now. What is this even? First of all right, I'm going to pause right here for a second. Frederick Douglass is not his ancestor. It has been proven. If people are still confused, they can Google that. This man is just a hot, convoluted, narcissistic, psychopathic mess. So this is why it's very difficult to like go through his videos. But hold on a second. I'm going to go back. I just wanted to pause that real quick to just kind of like dispel that. He's not a descendant of anyone outside of his parents.
Frederick Douglass said it's better to raise strong children than to repair broken men.
Frederick Douglass did say it's better to raise strong children than to repair broken men. However, this dude ain't raising his own kids. I don't even understand why that's even like coming out his mouth right now. But game is game, you know. You know what? People out here need to learn how to peep game.
Frederick Douglass said it's better to raise strong children than repair broken men. So if you got the snow bunny crisis, go ahead with yourself. If you got the snow bunny crisis, go ahead with yourself. If you got the snow bunny crisis, go ahead with yourself.
He's with the snow bunny stuff. I'm assuming that somebody is saying something in his chat right now. I don't know, but lately he's been talking about snow bunnies lately. So I think he's kind of like self-exposing, right? I don't know. It is just word salad, Danny. Danny, if you hang out for a little bit, I'd like to have you on here so we can talk. But let me just get through this. And I'm going to hold up. Let me put this on my Facebook because I shamed everybody. I shamed every damn body the other night. Let's see. Hold on. Share. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to do here. See who else wants to show up real quick. See who else wants to show up real quick. Bear with me. I know you rock with me, Danny. Danny, you're the fucking shit. Criatura. All right. So I put the word out. And we're back here. Okay. I know I did put them motherfuckers on note. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of like I'm not even gonna go there right now. That's another topic for another day. We're gonna stick on this shit with Umar because I really wanted to like talk about what he said because I don't listen to a lot of what he says, but he's self-exposed here. And what he ended up doing was kind of showing this entire mentality when it comes to like this whole thing with our generation and understanding consent and the value of women and girls, you know? I can't even wrap my mind around how anybody would want to like send their children to his school. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But let's see. Hold on, let's go back to it. Okay, it's apparently very windy. And he's very confused. Whoa, chill. Why? What is that? What the fuck was all that eyeball shit? I didn't even see this before. Hold up. Man. All right, whatever. Let's play. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Hold up.
It's only right.
What is happening right now?
Broward County, I will see you December 4th.
All right.
Broward County, Florida, the prince is returning December the 4th.
Okay, yeah. All right, you're going to places.
God in you, that means you are Christ. How you going to ask me if I'm the black Christ and you calling yourself God in me? That's what Christ means, the anointed. The anointed. You have been anointed by divine spirit. I haven't listened to the Donda album. Don't ask me about that.
What? Okay, so let's fast
Our
forward.
sisters are dealing with a lot of rape.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I can't with this dude's buttery ass teeth, man. This shit is crazy. No, you know what, Danny? The thing with him, he actually believes that he's the Black Messiah.
I want to say
This shit, well, I don't know if he believes it, but he's purporting it to people, and they're believing that mess.
Big problem with black women.
All right, here we go.
With a lot of rape. I'm hearing about a lot of rape cases. A lot of rape. I'm not talking just about sexual harassment, physical aggressive rape. A lot of black women. We're going to have to do something about this, gentlemen, because it's getting out of hand.
Okay, so do you see how he made a differentiation between rape and physical aggressive rape? You know what I mean? Like, I am thinking about, women that are, accosted in parking lots and beaten and raped on the way to the car and whatnot. That is permissive. That's an understandable rape to this dude. And I don't think that his mentality, he's not the only one that has that mentality, when it's like a violent attack, because I believe that a lot of these dudes that don't understand what consent is, how it damages women, and how that constitutes rape, they only see because they're so used to interacting with each other, all they see is violence. You know what I mean? So what the hell? Let's see what's going on with you, Umar. Let's go.
A lot of black women are being raped, and it's not just the Neanderthals doing the raping. It's not just the Neanderthals doing the raping. There are black men out here raping our sisters. There are black men out here raping our sisters. And we got to do something about this. Too much rape, too much disrespect of divine feminine energy in the black community. Too much rape. That's trauma. When a woman is raped, she will raise her daughters to be distrusting of black men as a protective device. And that can lead to a lot of dysfunction in a young black woman's dating, mating, and cohabitating behavior. But it's understandable because trauma.
Hard pause. Yes, Danny, the chin stroke screams culpability. You're not even lying right now. But let me tell you something right now. What he is saying, what he is setting up right now is like this alleged understanding of, of his understanding of why black women need to be protected. But even in his own energy, are y'all peeping this? What he's doing right now? Hold on a second. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that it's something that's a problem with the community, but listen to how he tries to separate rape from consent. It's very fascinating.
Disturbs our sense of reality to the point that we assume that everyone is a potential rapist. And that rape that is happening in the black community is being undiscussed because people guilty of the rape have political power in many cases. And then on top of that, black women.
Hard pause. Y'all saw what he just did. I don't know who's Danny. I know you're here. There's somebody else up in the chat too. And if you're here, please say hello. But do you see what he just did? He gaslighted rape experiences. Completely gaslight and turned it into some kind of like higher power situation. Something that only happens when it's something that is above the community and above women. You know what I mean? But no, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going because this nigga's out of control.
Don't always feel comfortable reporting the rape because they're going to white people and they have to report the rape by a black man to a white person.
Again, here he goes again, bringing white people into the mix when it comes to a black woman being sexually assaulted in the community. And his assumptions. Hey, Rodney, how are you doing? I'm glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're here. Please hang out. If you can't hop in on the live, make sure, while you're on your way to work, just listen. But we're going to talk about Umar's problematic stuff when it comes to consent and rape and women and girls. This is, I think, out of everything that I've seen from this dude, this live or whatever he put out here was hands down the most problematic. Hands down when it comes to my gender and my daughters. So we're going to keep going with this. Hold up a second. No, so what he's saying right now is like a lot of women don't want to report because they got to go to the white man. You know what? That's true. There is some truth in that. We don't want to report. Hey, Black, what's going on? We don't want to report that, we've been sexually assaulted or something has happened to the police, not because, well, partially because there's this horribly innate responsibility the Black women have to protect Black men from law enforcement, number one. Number two, the way that we're treated by law enforcement. The way that we are treated by law enforcement. So it's difficult for us to like present that there. Let's keep the video playing right now. Let's go.
Who already doesn't respect or like Black people. And so now she has to be treated like she's responsible for her own rape. That's why Black women don't report rape. That's why so many Black women don't report rape, because they're often treated like they were the cause of their own rape and they keep it to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why a lot of Black women are so hyper vigilant for abuse from Black men, so extra defensive towards Black men. Okay, so untrusting. You have sisters who cannot enjoy sex. Now, the same thing happens for Black men too. Same thing happens for Black men too.
Hard pause. Hard pause right now. I'm going to rewind that back real quick, actually. Hold up.
Report rape because they're often treated like they were the cause of their own rape.
And that's true. We are often treated like we're the cause of it.
Black women are so hyper vigilant for abuse from Black men, so extra defensive towards Black men. Okay, so untrusting. You have sisters who cannot enjoy sex.
Hold, pause. Why is that coming out his mouth right now? Why? What that tells me about Umar Johnson, and he's not the only dude that I've ever heard that from, sisters that can't enjoy sex after being either abused in their childhoods or dealing with sexual assault in their marriages, or so many different things. He still manages to center it on male pleasure. Why some sisters can't even enjoy sex. You're telling on yourself, bro. You're telling on yourself. Let's continue.
Same thing happens for Black men too. Same thing happens for Black men too, who get raped and abused. It's not a one-way street. But women are raped significantly more often than Black men are. Women are taken advantage of significantly more often than Black men are, and it's not being.
Okay, I got to pause on this again, because right now, while it's true there are men and there are boys that deal with sexual abuse and rape. And it's even harder for them to be able to report it because their manhood is in question, and they have to deal with the repercussions of the community, and they have to deal with how the state looks at them when they if so it's very difficult for a boy, a teenager, a man to go up into the police station and be like, I was sexually assaulted without an issue. So that's not a lie, but I think that for him to say that it happens more with women, and it's not that much with men, and it does happen, I'm glad he acknowledged it, but you need to like put up some numbers with that to support it. That's my personal opinion right there. You know what I mean? If you guys can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. I'm not sure if my audio is working while I am playing his video and I don't have my photo up in the background. So if you can hear me still while this is happening, please let me know. I'd greatly appreciate it. Back to the drill.
And discuss, there's no healing. There's no healing.
There is no healing.
A couple black organizations dealing with rape. You do have a few, and I commend those black organizations that are dealing with rape, but it's not being dealt with adequately enough. Until black women feel comfortable. I'm not talking about questionary rape like Tupac Shakur.
Questionary rape. Mm-hmm. Questionary rape. What the fuck is questionary rape? Questionary. Matter of fact, let's Google that. Is that even a word? Questionary. Hold up. Let me make sure. Questionary. Questionary. All right. It is a word, and I'll let me put y'all on to it right now. Hold on, let me share that. All righty. Questionary. A questionnaire. Questionary ain't even a damn word that should be up in his lexicon regarding this issue right now. Questionary is a questionnaire. This is your doctor. This is your big papa doctor on Ifantu Day Boulevard, creating the schools to educate y'all's kids and what have you, to raise up your sons to understand what questionary behavior may or may not be. But you know what? Let's fucking rock. Let's go. So we're going to stop this right here. I'm going to stop that. And we're going to go back to this. And thank you for your patience, guys. Questionary behavior.
Questionary rape like a Mike Tyson. Questionary rape like a Bill Cosby. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about obvious rape. Obvious rape.
What the fuck is obvious rape? What the fuck is that shit? What is obvious rape? I need somebody to answer that for me. What the fuck is obvious rape? I'm going to share a story with you guys, and I hope you're listening right now. I'm going to share a story. when I was in my 30s and I just separated from the father of my children. And I started out my life building my photography studio. Um, Trying really hard to do it, you know. Um, at that point, I had about 11 years of experience in the industry. But because I opened my own studio, I wanted to like get as much in as I possibly could in different facets of the industry to make my body of work greater to get more clientele. So I reconnected with a friend of mine from high school. We were cool back then. Not super cool. He wasn't like my peoples like that, but you know, we shared art classes together or whatever. Somebody said, you know what? This dude, he's got like this huge wedding photography business in upstate New York. Like it's major. And he was very popular. It was true. So I contacted him and I was like, you know what? This is what I'm trying to do. You know, he's like, Cal, you always been people, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, bet, let's do it. So he would hire me as a photojournalist, a set, or what they call a second PJ, um, for like wedding shoots and stuff like that. Right. So, you know, I was learning things, connecting. I was loving the wedding industry. It was so amazing. And the last shoot that we did, I remember it was in Yonkers, New York. And after the wedding, he and I celebrated. We had a little too much to drink because he lived in Albany, New York, and had a long drive. He booked a hotel. I didn't live far from Yonkers. I could have driven home, but I didn't want to drive home drunk. I'm thinking this is my boy. So I'm lit. He had 2 beds in his hotel room. I laid out on one, fully dressed, knocked out. Woke up to this dude fucking me. And he was supposed to be my friend. And I thought that I was supposed to be safe with him. It wasn't brutal. It wasn't violent. And later on, I learned to find out that he put shit in my drink to make me that knocked out. Because I never passed out like that before in my whole last inebriated life. Never. But somebody like Umar would deem that situation questionary because I went there out of my own accord. I drank with that dude out of my own accord. I just did that because those were my choices. And I chose to go to his hotel room and I chose to lay down and sleep there. But I did not choose to wake up to this motherfucker trying to fuck me. You know, my saving grace was the fact that he had whiskey dick and he couldn't keep that shit erect enough to fuck me. But what I will always remember was the weight of his body on top of mine. He was a huge dude, big dude. I will never forget how he put his hand over my mouth when I woke up and I was like, stop, what the fuck are you doing? Get off of me. And he put his hand over my mouth and said, you girls talk too much. I'll never forget that shit. I got him off of me. Put on my pants and split. And I'd never felt that way in my whole entire history of being a club kid and, you know, dabbling with like, you know, narcotics and getting high and fucked up and whatnot. I'd never felt that way in my entire life leaving that building. I couldn't feel my legs. I got to my car and I had to drive home very fucking unsafely, not in any way that I wanted to be, which is the reason why I stayed there in the first place, because I didn't want to drive the way that I was feeling. But this is what people consider questionary behavior. This is what y'all dudes be considering questionary fucking behavior, because there is no black eye, you know, because there is no stab wound in the fucking calf or some shit from some chick trying to run away from motherfucker, and he stabs her real quick and then lays her down and rapes the fuck out. This is a problem. And I don't really believe that you guys understand, not all of you, but there needs to be this understanding of what consent means. It's not necessarily a brutal fucking act. It's a matter of control and power and taking advantage of a situation where you have someone who is vulnerable, or you make someone vulnerable to be able to participate in whatever sex act that said dude wants to do. All right? So that's what I'm saying about that. We're going back to the Umar Johnson video and why y'all motherfuckers who still support him need to not do it. This nigga's rapey as fuck, just as bad as polite, just out of his own mouth, because he cannot differentiate between what consent is, what rape is, what sexual assault is, and he makes it fucking, he calls that shit questionary, and it's even the wrong word, man. It's questionable, but fuck it. You know what? Go ahead, Umar. Let's keep listening to your bitch ass.
Brutal, obvious rape is what I'm talking about. And a lot of black women don't feel comfortable reporting on it. And the reason why so many black women don't feel comfortable reporting on it is because they're treated like animals by the white establishment. Black women are...
Do you see what he is doing right there? It's the reason why, this is him grooming his fan base. The reason why black women don't want to go, because they're treated like animals. Do you see what he is doing? He is degrading women with trauma. No, the police don't treat you like an animal. They don't treat you like an animal if you go in. They treat you like something else, but they don't treat you like chattel. They don't treat you like less than human. They treat you like you're the one at fault, but not an animal. But do you see his wordplay right here? How he is diminishing women. They treat you like an animal, warning them, letting them know, don't go up in there and say anything, sis, because they only going to treat you like this. This motherfucker's a whole trip. I have never been a fan of Umar, never. But right now, in my head, he's public enemy number one when it comes to women. Listen to this mess. Oh, wait, hold up. I went back. My bad.
Past semester.
Treated like animals. That's why at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, I'm going to hold support groups for the rape victims.
Hi, Vic Grimes. Thanks for coming through.
Molestation victims, sex abuse victims, psychological abuse victims, parent abandonment victims. We're going to have programs for everybody. This is going to be the one-stop shop. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey is going to be...
Pause. This dude already alluded that he is that he's not in tune to what consent is, that he doesn't understand what women and girls go through when they experience sexual assault and rape. Yet he wants to put something together to make a safe space for Black women and girls, so that we can talk about it. And man, let's continue. Do y'all see this right now? If you see the game that he's doing right now, and I'm not even going to get to the predatorial shit yet, but do y'all see what he's doing right now? Go.
What the Black church used to be, minus the religion. The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy is going to be what the Black church used to be, minus religion. Minus religion. Okay? Because we have so many people who need so much help, and they're not getting it. I see we got some beta male shit going on in the chat. Brothers worrying about my lips, my hair.
Oh God, here he goes with this
You know,
mess.
there's a lot of
He's always
tenderonis out
he's always
there.
very
There's a lot
concerned.
of beta male
Hang on.
tenderonis.
He is always very concerned about how he appears to people and how people view him. He is very concerned about that. And even in that slight detail where he's like, "Oh, you dudes worried about my beard, you tenderonis, you know what? That right there even kind of points out to me that his weakness, his insecurity. And a lot of predators have that rooted in them. That dude, that what he did to me that night, that dude was insecure as hell. Had a wife, 2 twin girls. You know what I mean? He should have been fine, but he was very upset in his dark skin and his overweightness and his pink lips and his ugly ass face. He was upset and insecure about it. And I'm reading that on Umar right now. Totally. That beta male shit is such bullshit. The only people that are concerned about beta males are dudes that are insecure. And anybody worth their salt, anybody that has like a modicum of intelligence realizes it. I don't know why that's so hard for people. But anyway, let's keep on going. Let's see what he's talking about.
Out there. So to all you tender ass dudes, all you what's the most famous tenderizer out there? What your mom buy at the food store? The meat tenderizer. What's the most famous tenderizer? Because we got to do something about all this baby.
Hardports, could you believe this dude is supposed to be a principal of a school, yo? Can you believe it? I'm not opposed to AAVE, but when you're trying to promote an institution, you have to look like you're about something, especially sound like you're about something. But this motherfucker, anyway.
There's too much tenderoni, black power. McCormick Coon tenderizer.
Lord.
Too tender out there.
All right, so he's talking about.
Party. I don't need to slander people to get views. I don't have to insult people to get views. I'm going to get views because I am king of black consciousness globally. Globally. Twin goddess, you single but not curvy.
What the hell? See, look at him, and he's hitting on women on his. I can't. I don't know how Lennon Honor does this. I don't. Oh, this motherfucker got a car now. Hold up. I don't know how Lennon Honor does this. I don't know how he's able to sit through these videos and talk about. You know what? His super chats help because they take up time. That's how he does it. But I don't have any super chats. I don't have any cash apps. I don't have any of that. I can't sit through his madness. But the reason I pulled up that video was on the strength of Umar and what he said about rape and consent and what he wanted to do and how this lack of understanding when it comes to male energy and men, especially, I don't even want to say especially my generation anymore, because I did get some feedback that it's men across the board, whether they're 15 or 95, and I believe that. I'm not even disputing that because I know that's correct. But like, he really kind of wrapped it up right there, how men don't understand the things that women go through. And then they want to purport themselves to be a safe space when they don't understand consent. I don't get it. And I don't want to get it. And I'm not trying to get it anymore. Let them figure them shit. The entitlement is so far in the way of, the entitlement is so much in the way of any kind of understanding or finding mutual ground in understanding. finding empathy for women at this point. It's like, how do you even mend this? And I think I personally have gotten to the point that it's impossible, because men are going to feel how men are going to feel. And I'm not saying it's all men, because it's not. You know, I've personally know some extraordinary dudes that get what I'm saying. But there's a whole lot out there that are still problematic and still creating trauma, gaslighting women, sexually assaulting women, thinking that shit is okay because, you know, whatever behavior that took place between them is questionary, you know? So I don't know. It is what it is. But I am going to open up uh the chat real quick if anybody wants to hop on. I'm done with Umar. Hold on, let me get rid of him. All right. And if you want to come through and join the panel, and I know I have men here that might want to discuss this with me and tell me how you feel, I'm here to hear you. I'd like your opinions on it. Seriously. What are these dudes? What are they? Like at this point, you know what? I see so much evolution happening in our kids and within people in our age group and the millennials and everybody trying to understand things and find common ground and appreciating each other and respecting each other for how they choose to live their lives. But still, this rape consent thing is extremely problematic, this misunderstanding of what that means. And I believe that part of it has to do with the fact, well, not part of it, but like, you know, this the entitlement that comes with masculinity, or whatever purported masculinity, or whatever you want to define it as, you know, whatever that is that it's been inherited to make y'all believe that this is the way that men are supposed to be and this is what men are supposed to have. You can call it patriarchy if you want to, but I think it's a little bit more integral than that. So if anyone is here, if they're male, y'all can come on through. Holla at me. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to pause for the cause. Give me a minute. I'm here. Sorry, my neighbor was here. But, you know, you guys, I shared my story about my last sexual assault. That wasn't even my first. That wasn't even my first sexual assault. There's been 3 instances in my life that Umar would deem questionary. You know what I'm saying? But it's more than that, you know? Women are people. Girls are still people. You know, just because we grow and we want to feel ourselves and grow in our own womanness and femaleness, and a lot of that comes with this potent burst of female sensuality. That's not because it's on purpose. It's because that's who we are. That's the creatures that we are. It's not an invitation, you know? And I think that it would serve men a lot more if they just took the time to know the women that they were interested in, you know, because the connection, for heterosexual couples or, males that like and females that like sex with each other, because that doesn't necessarily mean heterosexual, but, you know, just take that time and enjoy that woman's energy and flourish with her and give her a safe space so that she opens her flower to you instead of taking that shit. Like, what the fuck? When I walk down the street, I have one of my neighbors around here has a lovely rose garden. And as much as I'd love to pick one of those roses, I don't, because I understand the work that my neighbor went into to making that rose garden flourish and be beautiful, right? And I respect it. So what do? Every time I walk past her house on the way to get my coffee, I just admire it. And it's okay to just admire it. You don't have to pluck every rose because you think you're entitled to keep beauty in your fucking house, in a vase, or in your lapel, or in your hand for 5 minutes before you notice that it starts wilting and you throw it away. Consent is similar to that. Just let women be beautiful. I don't understand why that's so hard. I don't get it. Why do y'all gotta take? Again, I'm going to put the chat link here and I would love to hear from somebody. If you guys can see the chat link in the comment section, please let me know. It's kind of hard to keep talking. You know what? It's really not hard to keep talking to myself because I'm alone so much of the time. So, I'm used to talking to myself in my head. So now I'm talking to myself out loud. And I guess that's perfectly fine. But when I think about these dudes, not necessarily Umar, because there's no case on him, but like Brother Polite, we can run the gamut. What's that dude from fucking Florida that had the 17-year-old girlfriend that he was grooming and whatnot? That senator dude. It's women are not here to be plucked. And we're so much more than that. And I think that is something that a lot of males don't understand. There's like this horrible focus on, a high value woman that can match a high value man. What do you have to offer? You're too half dressed and you're always on IG showing your cookies and whatnot. Therefore, you're not worthy of respect. Why? Why is she not worthy of respect when you're still following her? When you're like willing to give her money? I don't understand, y'all. I don't get it. If someone could break this shit down for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Because I don't understand. For those of you who are not like the fucking unicorn dudes, who are not like the rest of them, what can you do to teach them? Seriously. Because women can't. I can rant all day. As a matter of fact, I am sure after the story that I told you guys about my sexual assault some 10 plus-ish years ago, after that story, I am sure somebody's going to replay this and beat off to it because they think that shit is hot. The only reason women can ever be scared of men is because of our experiences with men. I don't understand why that is so difficult for people to, fucking people like Umar to understand. And there's no way in hell that a motherfucker who doesn't understand consent should be responsible for ushering a clinic to make black women and girls feel safe around him. Fuck that shit. I think King Kong Crazy shared a video when Umar was on a tour. I don't want to replay it because it was so ugly, but he had a teenage college campus tour. And one of the girls, she was young, maybe like 14-ish. And he used his camera to follow her backside around. But, you know, he's a safe space for black women and girls to go to. He's a safe person to create a clinic to make sure that black women and girls feel, fuck that shit. Y'all dudes that aren't like that, I need y'all to do better with fixing the dudes that are like that. Y'all need to do better. Because we're not safe. Brother, a certain age, I don't know why it's a surprise all through the 70s, and we all call women all kinds of names, treated them like shit. Should be surprised to women. Facts, 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 facts. We don't feel safe, man. I know I don't. My daughter does, because fortunately, I'm so happy she's not experienced anything near. And I think she's actually more ferocious than I was at her age. So if anybody tried it, I'd probably be bailing her out from somewhere. And I'm good with that. That means I did something right. I don't know. But you're right. There's no reason for women to feel safe. Did you guys know, sexual assault aside, we're going to talk about something else in the black community. Every 6 hours, a black woman is murdered in our community, widely at the hands of domestic violence. Widely. Did y'all know that? It's documented. It's recorded. There are tons of reasons why we shouldn't feel safe. And black men have yet to give us a reason to feel safe. But people like Umar want to come up here and be like, you go to police and you make a report and they treat you like an animal. What he's doing is even more gaslighting to make us feel like there's no place for us to go when we're dealing with, you know, domestic violence, sexual assault, all these other issues that women face in our community. And not everybody is loud, not every sister is loud and putting their hands in somebody's face. And even if they were like that, they still don't deserve to be sexually assaulted or abused in their homes. But y'all don't see it like that. Y'all make these like little excuses. So how do we fix it? That's all I'm asking right now. So I'm going to put my link down here one more time to see if anybody wants to come into the chat and discuss it with me. And I'll fall back. You can speak your speech. It's cool. It's all on you. But if not, I'm going to give it like 10 seconds and then I'm logging off for the night. Ten seconds. 9 seconds. Come on, fellas. If y'all got something to say, come through. Meanwhile, I'm hearing sirens roll down the street in my neighborhood, and I have no idea where they're going, but it's ominous that they are. going somewhere. And I'm hoping that whoever they're going to right now is okay. And I'm hoping it's a black woman that's okay. Y'all hear them sirens? I don't know if you heard it through my mic or not, but 5, 4, anybody coming on? 4, 3, 2, anybody coming on? 1, nah. All right, bet. Peace and black hair grease. And let's do better. The fellas that are listening, shut them dudes down, please. If you really want black women and black girls to feel safe, shut these clowns down. Please. Because we going through it out here. For real. This is a lab.